This evening, we begin the news from the National Assembly, where Minister of Public Works Bishop Juan Edgehill announced the government's plans to acquire fit-for-purpose vessels to upgrade Ghana's water transportation network. We'll discuss the details of this initiative and efforts to modernize the country's water transportation infrastructure. In agricultural news, despite an extended dry season, Ghana's food production is thriving. We'll explore the government's proactive measures and the resilience of the farmers, highlighting the surge in aquaculture production, investment in prawn ponds, and the development of new lands for cultivation. The Ministry of Culture, Youth and Sports is inviting individuals to participate in the Mashramani Song Competition 2024. We'll talk about the various categories in the competition, the ministry's effort to promote diverse musical talent, and the new inclusion of a dancehall competition. In a concerning local incident, police responded to reports of gunshots at the Virgin Eugene Village Day event. We'll bring you the latest on the arrest of a 37-year-old woman from New Amsterdam, Berbice, her statements to the police, and the ongoing investigation. Finally, on the international front, we'll report on the protests in Buenos Aires, Argentina, against the economic reforms proposed by President Javier Milei. Al Jazeera provides insight into the proposed bill to scrap more than 350 regulations and the public's response. Welcome to this broadcast of Channel 2's Headline News Update for December 28, 2023. I'm Bibi Bacchus. Thank you for joining us. First up, in a recent session of the National Assembly, Minister of Public Works Bishop Juan Edgehill unveiled the government's initiative to acquire fit-for-purpose vessels to strengthen and upgrade Ghana's water transportation network. Responding to inquiries about the expanding and enhancing vessels navigating the country's waterways, Minister Edgehill stressed the critical need for new boats and emphasized the urgency for immediate action. Addressing the issue of aging vessels, Minister Edgehill underscored the importance of recognizing the need for fit-for-purpose options as the nation progresses. During a recent trade mission to the United States, discussions occurred concerning potential support for acquiring ships available in the U.S. auction market. Minister Edgehill acknowledged the extended waiting time for new vessels, asserting that the focus is on functionality rather than age. Simultaneously, the Public Works Minister revealed a strategic partnership with India's Garden Rich Shipbuilders and Engineers Limited to expedite the construction of the MV Alicia in record time for shipment to Guyana. Commenting on the acquisition strategy, Minister Edgehill highlighted the government's commitment to evaluating market offerings, emphasizing the importance of procuring fit-for-purpose vessels that enhance fuel efficiency, reduce travel time, and prioritize safety as the topmost priority. The comprehensive approach aims to modernize Ghana's water transportation infrastructure and meet the evolving needs of its citizens. In other news, in the face of an extended dry season, Ghana's agricultural food production has not only withstood challenges, but is flourishing, credit to the government's proactive approach and the farmers' resilience. Minister of Agriculture Zulfikar Mustafa noted that to lessen the burden of the dry season and enhance food productivity, farmers benefited from constructing and upgrading drainage systems, distributing farming inputs and equipment, and expanding farmers' access, increasing freshwater availability, and providing technical assistance. Farmers' markets were also established nationwide for farmers to sell their produce to consumers, ensuring fairer prices for both parties by eliminating the middleman. Highlighting the surge in aquaculture production, particularly in brackish water shrimp, Minister Mustafa noted that $100 million investment in 10 prawns ponds at Overwatch Region 5. This investment is expected to yield fresh prawns within 3 months, expanding the seafood industry. Additionally, farmers in Region 5 will benefit from a developing 20,000 acres of new lands for cultivation in Mahaika, Maikoni, and Abari schemes to support farmers and advance agriculture. Ghana actively diversifies its agricultural landscape by cultivating new crops alongside established successes like corn, soya, and millet in Tacoma. The country boasts one of the largest hydroponics farms at Monrepo, with plans for 3 more farms on the way in regions 2, 5, and 10, signaling a modernization of high-value production. Minister Mustafa expressed optimism about the future, noting that the country is seeing an agricultural sector revolution. Moving on, the Ministry of Culture, Youth and Sports invites talented individuals to participate in the Mashramani Song Competition 2024. The competition, featuring various categories such as junior and adult calypso, soca monarch, chutney and dance hall, aims to highlight the diverse musical talent in the country. Including the new dancehall competition reflects the ministry's commitment to evolving and enriching the festival. The registration deadline is December 31st, 2023, and interested participants can register for their preferred categories through the provided links on the ministry's website. The ministry encourages aspiring artists to seize this opportunity to showcase their musical skills and contribute to Ghana's vibrant cultural landscape. Stick around when we return. Ghana Police Force intensifies crackdown on illegal firearms, and woman arrested for firearms discharge at Virgin Legion Village Day.
Giving you the best Christmas with Digicel.
Digicel is bringing you the best deals, the best prices, and the best cash prizes. Hold on to your Santa hats, because there's up to $50 million in cash to be won. Activate any data plan, and you can be one of 14 winners to join Digicel's Spin to Win game show, where you can win millions in cash. Activate a data plan today on the best network and make this Christmas the best one yet.
Digicel.
It's Christmas at Kissoon's Furniture Store. We are fully stocked for the holidays with a wide variety of furniture to choose from store-wide. Beautiful sofas, dinette sets, rugs, pillows, foam and hybrid cooling mattresses in all sizes, beds in king, queen and single sizes, and so much more. Come on down to our mega store or our Rob Street location. Merry Christmas from Kissoon's Furniture Store.
Good girl forget things.
What's the problem, Granny? I want money for borrow for those surgery. I was dancing and I fall and fracture my hip.
If you need some quick money, you should check Lender's Jewelry and Pawn Shop.
Lender's Jewelry and Pawn Shop, Lot 238 South Road Border, Georgetown. Get jewelry made to order in just 72 hours. We also accept vehicles. Lender's, best rates, longest payback period.
Boys, I get through. Plus, I could dance again. Lender's Jewelry and Pawn Shop.
When you need money and you gotta get it fast, Creative Jewelry and Pawn Shop is the place for that confidential transaction in a quiet and secure location. You'll get the highest value per pennyweight for your gold and also enjoy the lowest interest rates and longest payback period too. Yes, for that instant transaction to solve a pressing financial problem. That Creative Jewelry and Pawn Shop, 46 Boyle Place, that's between the Ministry of Housing on Brickdam and White Castle Fish Shop, be your first and only choice. Creative Jewelry and Pawn Shop, safe and sound, solid and secure, always there for you. Telephone 231-7878 and 223-8955.
Hello, my fellow TikToker followers. It's Credit, and today all we will be making Chinese noodles with peppies, chow mein, chicken fritters, and spice cake. For the noodles, all these will be using peppies, black pepper, cashew,
Chinese sauce, soy sauce, garlic sauce, paprika, Chinese seasoning, chow mein seasoning, five spice, and all-purpose seasoning.
Next, this chicken that we marinated, soak for all you wanna know nothing with peppies, green seasoning, miracle seasoning,
Pepper sauce, chicken seasoning, paprika, garlic powder, dark seasoning, black pepper, onion powder, and ginger powder, and document plantain flour, and then this butter we make with this quick piece powder, and we
boil in high. We serve with peppies, barbecue sauce. Radhika went to the supermarket and she papa buy up enough things. She feels she alone can cook, but she routine even wrong. She shape like a guy in a map.
Peppies has a wide range of ingredients available at supermarkets nationwide. Peppies, we put the pep back into your kitchen.
Welcome back. In an ongoing endeavor to maintain the safety and security of our streets, the Ghana Police Force has made substantial strides with a series of arrests related to firearm offences. Dale Jarvis has more details.
In an ongoing effort to combat the increase of illegal firearms, the Guyana Police Force has made significant strides in recent arrests related to firearm offences. 23-year-old labourer Rajendra Moniram of Ondinimin Sandpit, Essequibo Coast, has been charged with discharging a loaded firearm with intent against a police detective corporal from the Soddy Police Station on September 29, 2023 in Ondinimin Sandpit, Essequibo Coast. Moniram was granted $500,000 bail during a virtual hearing at the Wakenham Magistrates Court, with the case adjourned to January 26, 2024 at the Soddy Magistrates Court. Carl Reddy, a 57-year-old businessman from 2nd Avenue, Bartica, was arrested and charged with unlawful possession of ammunition without a license. During an operation on December 22, 2023, Reddy was intercepted with a significant quantity of various ammunition types in his vehicle, including a 12-gauge Boeing single-barrel shotgun. Reddy pleaded not guilty at the Bartica Magistrates Court, and the matter is set to be recalled on January 19, 2024. On December 24, 2023, police ranks from Regional Division No. 7 responded to an alleged wounding report and encountered a man on the Morawa Trail carrying a white salt bag. The man fled into the bushes upon seeing the police, dropping the bag, which contained a 12-gauge shotgun and 8 12-gauge cartridges. Despite efforts to apprehend the suspect, he evaded capture. And 44-year-old businessman Puran Manman from Abraham Zul, Essequibo Coast, was arrested for possessing an unlicensed firearm ammunition. Following reports of threats and domestic violence, the police conducted a search on Manman's residence, revealing a 9mm pistol, a .32 pistol, and various rounds of ammunition. Manman claimed to have a license for the .32 pistol but lacked one for the 9mm. He was arrested and taken to the Anna Regina Police Station with investigations ongoing. The Guyana Police Force remains committed to tackling illegal firearms and ensuring public safety and apprehending individuals involved in illicit activities. Reporting for Headline News Update, Dale Jervis.
Thanks, Dale. Continuing on our coverage of firearm-related arrests, during the early hours of yesterday morning, police responded to reports of gunshots at Virgin Eugene Village Day event on the east bank of Essequibo. They arrested a 37-year-old unemployed woman from New Amsterdam, Berbice, following reports of her possession and discharge of a loaded firearm. A search by a female officer found nothing illegal on her person. Nevertheless, she was taken to the Leonora Police Station. The woman told officers that she was in the company of a friend who had a firearm and was discharging rounds. She further stated that he gave her the firearm to discharge rounds also. The ranks returned to the Virgin Eugene tarmac area in search of the man, but he was not there. The woman's hands and clothing were swabbed for gunshot residue, and she remains in custody assisting with the investigation. Don't go away after the break. Argentina economic turmoil, thousands protest, plans reformed by president, and Sweden gang violence, authorities struggle to contain motor rates.
Giving you the best Christmas with Digicel.
This Christmas, it's all about the best. Digicel is bringing you the best deals, the best prices, and the best cash prizes. Get half off and a whopping 50 gigs of data when you purchase the Samsung A04 for just $14,000, the Samsung A14 for just $29,000, or the Samsung A24 for just $35,000. That's right, half off and 50 gigs of data. It doesn't get any better than this. So why wait? This Christmas, buy nothing but the best. Offer good while stocks last.
Digicel.
Sneakily with a gift of sight from Modern Optical Services. Let our professional team examine and prescribe what's best for your eyes. Common smiles make fashionable faces. See us for a full line of optical services, including brand name and prescription eyewear. Modern Optical Services, 316 Middle Street, Georgetown. Telephone 226-1082.
Good girl forget things.
What's the problem, Granny?
I want money for borrow for doing surgery. I was dancing and I fall and fracture my hip.
If you need some quick money, you should check Lender's Jewelry and Pawn Shop.
Lender's Jewelry and Pawn Shop, Lot 238 South Road Border, Georgetown. Get jewelry made to order in just 72 hours. We also accept vehicles. Lenders, best rates, longest payback period.
Boys, I get through. Plus, I could dance again.
Lender's Jewelry and Pawn Shop.
When you need money and you gotta get it fast, Creative Jewelry and Pawn Shop is the place for that confidential transaction in a quiet and secure location. You'll get the highest value per pennyweight for your gold and also enjoy the lowest interest rates and longest payback period too. Yes, for that instant transaction to solve a pressing financial problem. That Creative Jewelry and Pawn Shop, 4-6 Boyle Place, that's between the Ministry of Housing on Brickdam and White Castle Fish Shop, be your first and only choice. Creative Jewelry and Pawn Shop, safe and sound, solid and secure, always there for you. Telephone 231-7878 and 223-8955.
It's Christmas at Kissoon's Furniture Store. We are fully stocked for the holidays with a wide variety of furniture to choose from store-wide. Beautiful sofas, dinette sets, rugs, pillows, foam and hybrid cooling mattresses in all sizes. Beds in king, queen and single sizes and so much more. Come on down to our mega store or our Rob Street location. Merry Christmas from Kissoon's Furniture Store.
Welcome back. Now we take a look at what's happening in the region and around the world. Thousands of Argentinians have been rallying in Buenos Aires against sweeping economic reforms proposed by right-wing President Javier Milei. He sent a bill to Congress that would scrap more than 350 regulations to combat the country's economic crisis. Al Jazeera's Monica Yanicki reports.
Thousands chanting in the streets of Buenos Aires against Argentina's new president, Javier Milei. It's the second protest against him this month, and Argentina's powerful trade unions promise it won't be the last.
We will continue to fight for our rights. We'll protest on the streets and, if necessary, we'll call for a general strike.
Since he took office 2 weeks ago, Milei has been taking measures to cut public spending. Last week, he announced a mega decree that, among other things, would reduce subsidies to public transport and electricity, allow healthcare providers to raise prices, and make it easier for companies to fire workers.
A bus ticket will cost 800 pesos, 10 times more than it costs now. That we still have government subsidies. How will a worker afford going to work?
But the president has already warned Argentines that there's no other way. He says the state is bankrupt and things will get worse before they get any better.
People here are chanting that they will not accept selling Argentina. That means that they are also against privatizations, which President Javier Milei has announced.
Trade unions and social organizations say Milei cannot govern by decree. While they were protesting, Milei sent a bill to Congress declaring an economic emergency until December 2025, giving the president more powers to adopt market-friendly reforms. Political analysts say the president has little time to make good on his promises of change.
Argentina is facing a 1% daily inflation, where half of the population lives in poverty. His biggest challenge is to reduce inflation while his popularity is still high.
The question now is how long Argentines are willing to wait for better times. Monica Yanakiev, Al Jazeera, Buenos Aires.
U.S. Secretary of State Antony Blinken and Mexican President Andres Manuel Lopez Obrador have discussed the surge in migration from Southern and Central America. Around 10,000 people are trying to cross the southern U.S. border each day illegally. This is nearly double the number before the pandemic. Al Jazeera's Shahib Ratansi reports.
These are the images that prompted a new round of high-level U.S.-Mexican diplomacy about the shared border. U.S. authorities overwhelmed by a spike in undocumented border crossings in December, resorting to keeping men, women and children in a cold, open field, sometimes for days.
It's just overwhelming. And people need to understand that. This is not a problem that's just our problem.
In response, the US shut down rail traffic on this bridge, the second busiest rail freight crossing between the two countries. Billions of dollars were being lost in trade as US personnel were diverted from customs to immigration. What's interesting is the reasons we're hearing from sources on both sides of the border as to why there was such a spike in undocumented migration in December. Early that month, Joe Biden, desperate to fund the increasingly unpopular war in Ukraine, said he would strike a deal with the Republicans on migration, a tightening up of asylum policy and an increase in migrant deportations in return for more money for Kyiv. And word quickly spread south of the border. As a result, it was now or never to cross. Even Genesis Chirinos thought twice, despite having followed the rules and made an appointment with US authorities for an asylum interview on the condition she wait in Mexico in the meantime.
Around the 15th of December, we started hearing rumors that they were going to shut down the border and they wouldn't let anyone enter. And that made me very desperate, and I thought, I need to get in.
This field is now relatively empty, but there is an expectation it may yet be filled again soon. After all, it's been widely reported that the Biden administration is still prepared to crack down on asylum seekers in return for Ukraine funding next year. Shea Bertansi, Al Jazeera, Eagle Pass, Texas.
And finally, Sweden is facing a surge in gang violence. There's been a record rise in the number of people being killed in shootings and bombings. And gang members have been recruiting teenagers as contract killers. Al Jazeera's Paul Rice reports.
Stockholm's suburbs were built as part of a vision of social cohesion. Now they're synonymous with gang warfare, a mounting death toll and a divided society, with consequences for both Sweden and the communities that have started a new life in places like Rinkeby.
There are many here who have escaped from war and have trauma, and now they experience almost the same thing here, so it's really sad.
Violence here has been building up for the past decade. Until recently, only gang members were targeted. Now it's their friends and families being killed, and innocent neighbours, in both shootings and bombings. Connie Nordin was near his home in Stockholm when he was caught in crossfire, shot twice in the leg during a gangland execution gone wrong.
The bullets hit me and one other person. Then he fired 3 or 4 more shots. It was amazing no one was killed. It's time for the politicians to take responsibility. What's happening in Sweden is terrible.
The government has called on the army for help as Sweden's peaceful image gets further from the reality. There were 6 times as many shootings in Sweden in 2022 than in the rest of Scandinavia combined. The scale of the violence is overwhelming the Swedish authorities. Bombings have more than doubled in 5 years. Last year was the worst for shooting deaths, and 11 people were killed in September this year alone. And teenagers are increasingly becoming both victims and assassins. Gangs recruit youngsters partly because under-15s cannot be sent to prison. Hanif Azizi arrived as a 9-year-old refugee, and now polices the suburbs he grew up in. He says life for young people there is much worse than it was.
They don't believe that they can change. They don't believe that they can be part of the society. They don't believe that they even is going to live until they are 30. They believe that their life, it's, in Swedish we call it kört, it's gone. When I came to Sweden, I was maybe just the only kid with an immigrant background in my class. Today we have a lot of people with an immigrant background, and unfortunately they aren't able to live with other Swedes. They feel like they're not part of the society and they don't adapt to the Swedish system.
The gang war is fueled by drug money, helped by Sweden's soft stance on law and order and its porous borders. Attempts to toughen the law may have a limited impact if the fast money and adrenaline promised by gang life continues to compete with the prospect of unemployment on a Swedish housing estate. Paul Rees, Al Jazeera, Stockholm.
This brings us to the end of the regional and global news coverage. Up next is the 3rd weather forecast. And that's Safety TV2 headline news for this Thursday evening. As we take our leave, we invite you to follow us on Facebook and YouTube. You can tune in tomorrow at 6:30 a.m. for a rebroadcast and at 5:30 p.m. for more news. Until then, please take care of yourself and each other.